Thank you very much. And at this point, allow me to now invite Coach Lucy Njine to take us from this point onwards. Coach Lucy.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rita, and a good evening to all of us. 144 of us logged on with expectation. I don't know whether you people feel like the way I do, like in my mind, I'm trying to relieve the children of Israel at the bank of the Red Sea, and they're just waiting for the waters to part so that they can cross onto the other side. So I don't know whether you're like me there, with the assurance from what we were commissioned on Saturday, that now the waters are about to part and we are going to walk through the Red Sea. We are going to get onto the other side of increased income. So my name is Lucy Njine, for those of us that are new here. I'm a financial literacy coach. I enjoy talking to people about turning their personal finances into financial freedom. That is what I do. And this is a clarity I got after I encountered Madam Irene. I like to call her Coach Minister. I met with Irene about 11 years ago, and I met her on radio. I used to hear her on radio as I'm going home in the evening from work, tired and feeling all those feelings that those of you that have worked maybe for 10, 20 years, you know that feeling of you're just tired. You're tired, you're going home and you're dreading the following day. And because I'd made a promise to myself, the time at which I wanted to retire, I was in that confusion of not knowing how will I go. I knew in my mind I needed to go. By the end of 2014, I needed to say goodbye to employment, but I didn't know how I was going to go. And all those things were going through my mind. That's when I encountered Coach Irene on radio, and the rest, as they say, has been destiny. We've walked a journey. I was able to clarify my purpose, which is to help people turn their personal finances to financial freedom, a journey that I have walked and refined along the way. The other day, Irene posted a Facebook memory of us about 10 years ago doing a prisons visit. And I told her, I would like for Facebook to keep for us the memories of what we start today for another 10 years, because I would like to see us 10 years from now. I know the last 10 years have been difficult. You've heard Irene unapologetically or unashamedly at one time say the business went south, and we've just been there. I've been privileged to chair the board of Royal and Rich. And so for those who don't know, Irene has a board that functions. So she doesn't just wake up and do these things that you see her doing. She doesn't just wake up and say these things that you see doing. There's a machine that runs uko nyuma ya tent to make the things that you see happen. And I've been privileged to chair that board. And so because I know what it means to be in the kitchen, when visitors come and they meet, the table is all set, the food is ready and it's looking delicious. The house is looking very neat and elegant, as we saw on Saturday. Very many people don't know what goes on inside the kitchen. But like she has always assured us, is that the price has been paid. For the last 10 years, we are confident to tell you the price has been paid. We've made all the mistakes that we needed to make so that we can present to you something that you can enjoy, so that you don't have to go through what we have gone through in the last 10 years. And so together with the leadership of TKC, it's my joy and privilege now to present to us just a short review of how the journey is going to be in the next 52 weeks. So let me just share my screen. And in just 5 slides, I'm going to show us how the journey for the next 52 weeks, 2023, 2024, is going to look like. Increased income for the next 52 weeks. And we say this with confidence and also the joy of the Lord, because we have been commissioned after what happened on Saturday, after the price that has been paid by Irene and the rest of the people that have been doing this. So we look forward to the next 52 weeks, and we know God is on our side, so we are not worried. So the journey is going to look like this. It's going to be divided into 4 quarters. As you all know, the year has 4 quarters, and our first quarter begins today, the 1st of May. It will run for the next 3 months. And in the next 3 months, we shall be looking at mindset. This is what we shall be looking at. We are going to be looking at just a change of mindset and learning existing limiting beliefs, those beliefs that limit us when it comes to creating wealth. I know we have been set free by the conversations that we've been having in the last 52 weeks and also what happened on Saturday, but we still need to interrogate our beliefs completely so that by the time we get to the other side, we are getting there on a clean slate. So when we deal with mindset, as the word of God says, be transformed by the renewal of your minds. As we deal with our mindsets, we want to completely be free of any limiting beliefs. And then we want to learn and adapt a new mindset concerning wealth creation. So we want to have that mindset that speaks wealth, that appreciates wealth, that is unapologetic about wealth, and also take the steps. You know, it's one thing to have a mindset changed, but it's also another thing then to take steps towards that goal. And we are going to hold each other's hands. The way we are here, 150-something of us, and those that are going to join, because our coach has been gracious enough to open the window for a monthly payment. As many as we are going to be, we are not going to leave anyone behind. So we are going to hold each other accountable. We are going to establish long-lasting accountability partners. You know, when I have trained people in finance planning, I've had the opportunity to speak to people that have made a lot of wealth in this nation and also outside of this nation. And the one thing that I have discovered, you will find the saying that birds of a feather flock together. It is so true that birds of a feather flock together. If you get someone who's really made it in this nation, they will tell you of a group of 5 people, 3 people, 10 people that they've been working together with. Nobody has walked the journey to financial freedom alone from beginning to the end. So that is what we shall be establishing in the first quarter of the year, working on our mindsets. And then the second quarter, which is going to be 3 months, we are now literally going to plunge into wealth multiplication. You know, those people that keep saying, show me what are the investment options that I should take, show me where I should go and invest. This is your time. The second quarter of our 52 weeks, we are going to be looking at your investment program. We are going to be setting up an investment program for each one of us. And I believe you had Pius on Saturday, those that attended the graduation, speak about having an investment program, a guided investment program. So you don't wake up because quails are happening and you run to quails. Because plots, maguta, they are selling and you run there. You're going to have a proper investment program, which is going to guide you so that even if what is happening where, you'll be able to just follow that program. We're also going to introduce us to investment options, and also we will look at how to fund our investments, because a lot of us are here because mostly we don't have money. We are not yet there, but we are going to be looking, how are we then going to fund our investment program? That is quarter 2. And then quarter 3, we're going to look at wealth preservation. And that is what Pius on Saturday called personification, wealth preservation. So how are you going to manage those risks that can happen and completely take you outside of your investment program, completely offset those things that you have done. We are going to look at that in a very deliberate manner. Then we're also going to look at the issue of estate planning. How is it that what is this wealth that you're creating? How can it be preserved so that it lives from generation to generation, like what the word of God tells us, that a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. How then can we ensure that we leave an inheritance for our children and it will outlive us to generations to come, as opposed to we create wealth and then we leave our children fighting over it? And then finally, in the third quarter, we will also look at your legacy. When you're out of this world, how are we going to remember you? Or shall we put you 6 feet under? Or if you want to be cremated, shall we take you to that fireplace? And then 2 days later, we have forgotten that you ever existed. We are going to be very intentional about creating a legacy. And then finally, the last quarter, we will look at this program that we had the privilege to run in several churches a while ago. And all of you, or most of you, have had the testimony of one, Dr. Ruth Muthei. You've had the testimony of the other guy who came and spoke to us, how they were able to convert a debt that was almost auctioning them into, and they were able to come out of it because they did this program that is called Think, Shift, and Change. So what we are trying to say is that even though we are going to address mindset in the first quarter of the year, we are not addressing that and finishing. We are going to keep on renewing our minds. By the time we are finishing this year, new things will have come up. By the time we go into next year, new things have come up. So how is it we can cultivate a culture of continuous and learning the things that we have learned and learning the new things that will enable us to survive into the future? So our journey for the 52 weeks looks like that. 4 quarters. Quarter 1 is mindset. Quarter 2 is wealth multiplication. Quarter 3 is wealth preservation. Quarter 4, think, shift, and change. We have lined up a rich, rich program. You are here and you're blessed. We can assure you, you will not regret. So only be willing to act. Be willing that you're not just here to collect notes. And let me say, without apology, that this is the reason why the program is pricey, so that you can take care. I mean, you can be serious. We are serious about the program. We also want you to be serious about the program. So when we say go and act, then it doesn't mean you just collect notes on Sunday evening and you go and pile them away. You are going to take steps. For instance, after Saturday, when Pius talked to us about establishing family trusts, for those of you that attended the graduation, I realized that is something I've been thinking about, but I've been putting it off. Every time I think about it, I say, I'll do it next month, I'll do it the other month. In fact, I started thinking personally, and we discussed it as a family about 3 years ago, but we've never activated. But I have promised myself that tomorrow, the first thing I attend to is to start working on that family trust. So whenever you come to class, even like today, take out something, no matter how small, go and run with it. So a guy called Jabez summarizes our program for the next 52 weeks. This is the story of Jabez, and we all know it, how he was born in pain. In fact, we are told his name was Pain, but he got at some point and he said, things can't go on like this. And he prayed to God. We know the prayer of Jabez in 1 Chronicles. And he said that, oh God, you would bless me. And that is where we take our first quarter, our first module of wealth creation, dealing with our mindset, asking God to bless us, putting aside savings. And that is what we call wealth consolidation. You put together your seed so that you can have something. Even though we will look at other ways of funding your investment, then you must have a seed that you're going to put into wealth multiplication. So God bless me. It means we are asking God to help us to consolidate whatever it is we have. And in doing so, there's going to be discipline required. We must be disciplined, we must put sacrifices, we must remain focused. The second item that Jabez prayed about is that you may enlarge my territory. And enlarge my territory speaks to our second quarter, which is wealth multiplication. Finally, he prayed that you would keep me from harm. And that speaks to our third quarter, which is wealth preservation. So in summary, as I invite our coach to invite our guest speaker for tonight, is to say that our program is lined up in these three modules: wealth consolidation, where you will spend less than you earn, and then you're going to save and start drawing a vision of where it is that you want to get with your wealth. And then the second quarter, we'll look at wealth multiplication. We will invest, we will diversify. I've seen a lot of people say in their comments that they are looking to creating multiple streams of income. This is when it will happen. And then we will see how to create a passive income. And finally, we shall, in the third quarter, we shall address wealth preservation. That is where we shall deal with the risk management, estate planning, and then legacy. So our journey is going to look like that. It's going to be as exciting as it comes. And so now, with the joy of the Lord, help me with claps, virtual whatever it is that you do, to welcome our coach minister, Madam Irene, to bring for us our guest speaker tonight. Thank you so much, and may God bless you.
Thank you. A very good evening to us, and allow me to welcome you to TKC 2023-2024. As Dr. Rita has said, it's a new year at TKC, so I want to